All right, guys. So in last session, we have understand about the chain of thought prompting and how basically we can automate the chain of thought prompting, right? Like how basically AI thinks and thinks before giving the response, right? So in the today's session, we are going to understand about the role-based prompting. So this is not quite different. It's quite similar whatever we have covered till today. So this is basically a combination of all of that thing. So let's explore the topics. Okay, so in role-based prompting, basically we are just going to assign some role to our AI models to behave like that only. So let's say you in a like IT company, basically you have some role like software engineer, your manager, or like business administrative, right? Or HR manager, something like that you can say. So these are some specific role has been assigned to some person. So similar way, we can also assign some role to our AI model to get like expected response and tuning response with some bunch of instruction that has been given to that AI model. So it will act as similar as to that role only. So for example, like we can say we can create our AI model in such a way who can act as an interviewer, right? So whenever we are going to ask something, it will act like a proper, like a clear part of the interviewer perspective only. So he will ask the cross questions, whatever we are going to answer. Based on that, like our model is going to do the cross question, like how basically in the real scenarios, interviewer is going to ask, right? So we can assign them an interviewer role, or we can say we can assign them a senior Java developer role, or even you can say service now developer, anything like just we have to assign a specific role. Like on based on top of that, we can give some like a tuning instruction on that, and will get better and a specific response to that role, right? So let's see the act as part. So basically act as prompt we are going to use to tell our AI like you have to act as blah blah blah. Like in example, you can see act as a senior Java developer and review this code for best practice. So what will happen, like AI will make themselves to act as a senior Java developer and going to review your code, whatever you're going to provide the context. Based on that, as a level of senior Java developer, they're going to tell like what are the errors, what are the like optimization you can do in your code base, right? So that's how it is going to work. And it's going to provide you a expert specific responses based on that role, right? So like what if we give context, we can give them the tone that you're going to use and what all things you have to focus primarily. You can ignore some scenarios which is not required, but few of the scenarios you have to be focused on that. So we can allow our AI model to based on that role act as this and use this tone, and you can ignore these scenarios, but you have to be specific on few of the topics. So you can just give the few soft prompting examples into this. So as I told initially, like it's a combination of all the prompting model that we have learned. So this is as a combination, and on top of it, we are just going to assign a model, role model to our AI models, right? So we can tune the behavior, we can tune the response, how are we going to act, that all things we have to do. So in example part, you can see we have make our AI as a senior Java developer. So based on that, we have to get the response we can ask, right? We make our interviewer AI model, which is going to evaluate our candidate response and all something, right? So basically, I'm going to give you an example. We'll see how it works. Okay. So this is the role, like basically role model. We are assigning project manager, fitness coach, senior Java developer, and blah blah blah, like that. Okay. So let's come to our screen part. So let's create one. I'm just going to copy this few short prompting and just rename it with role prompt. Okay, role based prompt. Fine. So yeah, so this all code will remain same. Like we need to import OS, OpenAI model and all. We are just going to remove this system prompt, which is not required at all here for now. We will see what we have to add. And similar way, like we are going to create response based on the model that we are going to use, and the user input and system prompt we are going to provide, right? So in the system prompt, for role-based model, we have to initially provide a role to our model, right? So for providing the model, we can write act as an, let's say I'm going to create one interview, right? Act as an expert interviewer for a software developer role. Okay. Um, Now when a user respond with answer, just evaluate the answer and give proper feedback, and any suggestions to improve. Okay. So like for now, I'm just giving some basic example, like how basically interviewer will act. Okay. So yeah. So I'm basically providing a role of interviewer to my AI model, right? And just telling him like if they are going to ask something based on the user, like interview will going to answer, right? So you have to evaluate and give a proper feedback and any suggestion if they are providing wrong answer or not an exact answer, right? How basically we have to give the answer during the interview. So that's how we can say. And we're just going to give some a few examples for better response, right? Okay. So let's say a question asked, what is linked list DSA, and answer we are getting like let's say a linked list is a linear data structure, linear structure data. Okay, made of nodes. Now how AI will going to answer it, right? Let me make it as interviewer. Okay, asked, user response, and now again interviewer. This is great, but also mentioned that linked list and all blah blah blah. So this is the going to be, and also I want it some way like we just need some response. So rate answer, it's a 7 out of 10, right? Um, I'm going to just give rate, right? Similar way, I'm going to ask some second question. What what are features of Java 8? Okay, I'm just asking a random question, not a user, it will be interviewer. Okay, now user Java 8 includes several features. I'm removing some of the context. Stream API default methods interface. So interview will now correct your partially correct and just providing and give. Okay. So this is how, like I'm just giving some few examples for better output from the our interviewer model. Okay, whenever user going to ask. Okay, now let's say I'm giving the context. So let's say now person model, person interviewer. What is difference between abstract class and the interface? Okay, now user is going to answer this part. Abstract class have both abstract and concrete while interface is having. So this is a response basically I'm going to add from user part. Then we'll see what AI will respond. Okay, let me clear the terminal and now execute this role based prompt, right? Now let's see what we're getting the response. Okay, so here you can see user told and abstract can have both reason out. So interviewer is going to evaluate your correct answer is correct. You have highlighted some key difference, however, it's worth mentioning since Java 8 interface can also be so blah blah. So basically, from interview perspective, they are giving the feedback, whatever user has responded, right? And rating the answer based on that. So in this way, like we can provide some role. We can also use our model to be a program manager or project manager to evaluate all the requirements from the client and create a Jira story. So based on the context we are providing, like AI model will work act as a project manager and provide a Jira ticket based on the complete requirement, right? So in this way, we are going to just make a role-based prompting, right? So we have to like always use about act as a keyword and provide the role and just give some justification what all things you have to do based on we can twitch the response, right? And few sort prompt example as well for the better response from the AI model, right? In this way we can evaluate, right? So that's all for today. Let's see you on next video. Bye.